Okay, so it's about 10 after 5 on Saturday. Today's road trip day, which is gonna be like a relief from garden day. Oh my god, the garden is kicking my ass, man. I am so sore. And I think, like every time I get like really super sore and it's tight and stuff, I always think this is where the people stop. This is where people start going like, oh, I can't do it. Um, it's like you just gotta keep on doing it. You just keep going. I was yesterday even going to the grocery store, and man, God, there's so like filling my water jugs. I think those are 40 or 50 pounds each. I can't remember. My mom looked it up one day and told me, but they're heavy as shit. The big water things, you know. And if you get the glass ones, it's even way heavier. And so I have the plastic ones. And the glass ones are so expensive. Well, these ones are so expensive because these ones are like 18 or 20 bucks. And glass ones are like 30 or 40 bucks. So they're, I have a cup of tea, but it's really hot. And I am feeling so weird. So fucking weird. I am having things where it feels like I'm glitching out or something, like I'm fading out. I don't know. It's weird as shit, man. Hold on. Um, but anyway, so that, the bags of dirt are 50 pounds. It says right on there. And moving those and carrying them and shit, it's like, fuck, man. And then my packages came yesterday with pots in them last night. Or they're not pot, they're these big things you have to build, these container things. And those were super heavy. And so he came. I was so glad he delivered them. It was late. Fuck, that's the other thing, man. I am staying up so much later, and it still is getting up early. So I am just, fuck, man, and just go, 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 go. Oh my god, I can't even tell you. Like, god damn. A road trip's gonna be a vacation. One day, it was one day cramming. So the so the packages came, and so we went down there and we got them out. And so I had 3 boxes, so I put this stuff that I had in this one and this other one, and I'm, not thinking it's gonna be that heavy. I tried to pick it up, and it's like, what in the holy hell is so heavy? I'm like carrying it, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is kicking my ass. I had already had stuff out of it. And when I got the box down here, I saw it had heavy written on it. I was like, fuck, man. Just carrying this stuff one day, like, I don't know how these FedEx, UPS, all these people do this every day. These delivery guys picking this shit up all day long, going and walk. It's like, fuck, man, we gotta give a lot more, like, respect to them or something. That is hard work. Fuck. And so I carried it down here, and then I get it in the light, and then I see in there, it's like, because I ordered bags of beans and bags of rice on Amazon. It was cheaper than the grocery store. So I was like, fuck, I'm just going to order them on here. And so they were all in this bag, or all in this box. So that box was like, I don't know, 25 or 30 pounds probably. But it felt like 100. And oh yeah, I didn't go up the stairs and down the stairs. No, I went through the gate and through here. It was, and I was like struggling. So I am and I'm not getting any sleep at night. And the moon is almost full, and it is just acting crazy. I don't even know what to say about it. It's, it's so weird. And then I don't know if that's causing me to not sleep. I try and pay attention to these cycles, but this is where you gotta kind of write it down, because I can't fucking remember. But it seems like, for sure, whenever the moon is getting full, I do better once it's full. When it's getting full, it seems like it disrupts my sleep, but I don't know. I think I should write it down. Even on here, I think I'll remember. No, I don't remember. But the moon is weird. It's weird outside. The sky is so fucking weird. Even my mom now, she's starting to say, like, I know something's opening. something's opening, and it's probably feels scary, but then, you got this weirdo over here that you can say whatever, because even last night when we were out there waiting for the guy, because I went to go look and see about the delivery, and I don't know if this is on them all the time or something, but this happens to me all the time. And I'll go on to Amazon to look for my order, and it'll say, you're next, or you're two deliveries away, and it has the map, and it shows the guy, like you can see him, and even this one told me who the guy was, and like the Uber thing or something. But I know a lot of people are what is that called, subbing that out, that delivery stuff, like anybody, because I know when I in 2016, when I was involved with that group of meditators and stuff, and Reiki people and all that business, where I learned a lot of stuff. But they, the couple, they were Amazon delivery sign it, like, but I can't think of what it's called when you're independent, you don't work for Amazon, you're independent delivery driver. And I don't remember how you get signed up to do it or whatever, but they would get this whole list, and then they could pick, and then you go to this place, and it's tons of packages, and you get all these packages, and you have to go and you have to deliver them all night until they're all gone. I think I was this guy's last delivery. My boxes were huge. And then, so and they said it was good money, but it was kind of like, it's a lot of work. It was a lot to do. But anyways, it's, and then we have an Amazon place here, so maybe it's really popular. Like, instead of doing Uber Eats, everybody's Amazon delivery driver. But anyways, it's whatever it's called, I don't know, I swear to God. I feel so weird and so out of it. And I think I'm to this point where this must be why autistic people wear headphones. It's so motherfucking noisy. I cannot believe how fucking noisy this fucking world is. I don't know if it's when you're just really caught up in shit, you don't notice, but god damn. Or is it just getting noisier? Like, is it the sound changing that's making it so noisy? When I opened the thing this morning at 4 o'clock, the birds were going insane. I was like, what in the hell? Is there some kind of bird drama going on? It was so fucking loud. They were just going crazy. And so I don't even know what the hell that was about. Now it's getting light out. And what was it? There was something else. But anyways, oh yeah, because the crickets. Like, I swear to God, I don't hear the crickets anymore, but I don't know if it's because I hear all this other buzzing and humming and stuff. There's so much buzzing and humming, and it's like, God, no wonder people have so much anxiety. There's so much fucking noise around us. I wonder if that's what the thing is. Is it, the light, where I always see it, like the lights coming on, like the light comes on, like, but it really is dark to light, and it really is about the lights coming on and seeing more and all that. But if that isn't, like, there's a moment of silence in there, and people all of a sudden is like, oh my God, how quiet without all of this fucking background noise. It's like, geez, I don't know. I think that would feel so weird. But I'm having the weirdest things that are happening. Last night was the first time where I was, oh my God, I was just going and going and going all day. And I'm so sore. So I was just like, fuck, I just want to go in and smoke and go to bed. And so I came in and had some puffs off my joint in the night. Went to go lay down. And this is the first time where I was like, is this what people are talking about? Something is attacking them? It was insane. I was like under some kind of, oh my God, it was so creepy. And it wouldn't leave me alone. And like at one point I had my eyes, like trying to keep my eyes shut was, oh God. It was just constant. My eyes shut, and all of a sudden I was like falling, and I could see it. and you're just like falling and falling and falling, and everything's getting closer. And it was, oh my God, it was so intense. Where you like, I had to open my eyes really quick. I was like, fuck. And I was like a jump, total jump back. I was so fucking creepy. And then I closed my eyes again, and there'd be some fucking thing coming at me. And then another one, and then another one. It was like non-fucking stop. And I was like, God. It was like when the time when all of those eyeball people, it was like so many eyeballs. Every time I'd shut my eyes, it would be this face coming at me with their eyes, this one. And they were all over. And when I'd be trying to look away, then they'd come up real quick and then look at you. It's like, oh my God, this is intense. And but last night I think was the most intense. And I kept having these feelings through my body where it felt like I was kind of like disappearing or I was melting. That is before, I just keep having this. I think that was when I was laying down in the afternoon to take a nap or something. So, and I say that because every time I would talk about weird shit, my kids would be, oh, you're just tired. It's like, no, I'm not. God, I'm not just sitting here getting baked all day. It's like you take a couple of puffs so you can move around, man. Oh, which the weed store just closed down up here. And my mom noticed, and I was like, and she thought it was weird. And I was like, well, it's so weird because there's so many old people out here. And I'm sure they're all taking all sorts of shit. Like she's talking to her friends on Ox and all this shit. And it's like, fucking CBD. These people should have marketed it. Maybe they weren't good at business or something. I don't know. But they definitely should have marketed it towards like gummies and creams and stuff, and try and get, because they had a ton of people out here. So I don't know. Like this is much different than where I lived. Like this is out at a lake and forest with just jam-packed with people. But I forgot to say this one thing. So we were waiting out there for the package when I was saying my mom is starting to notice weird shit. And so we're standing out there. And and one thing is like, she talks a lot. And so she was talking about some, and I think I was looking down at the cat or something. I don't know. It's like talking about something. Then all of a sudden, and so she was looking up and I was looking down, I guess. And all of a sudden she goes, oh my God, what was that? I was like, what? She goes, didn't you see that? And I said, no. And she goes, that was the weirdest thing. She said, I don't know what's going on. Some weird light just came through the tree. And I said, I don't know. I was looking down. I didn't see it. And she goes, there's no car. I don't hear any car. There's not a car going up. Where did that light come from? What's going on? And I was like, I don't know. And she's like, I'm telling you, there was this white light. And she said, it was like a whole bunch of falling stars at once. And I said, I don't know, maybe it was a comet, maybe it was a spaceship. I don't know. And she's like, yeah, it was really weird. It was something. But see, it's the unraveling of this reality. And it's like, is this shit just going on all around us and we just don't pay attention because it's about to get wild. Oh my God. And but she keeps on being like now when she's feeling sick or whatever, she's like totally acknowledging. But that is going so much more mainstream too, about the stuff we're breathing in. And oh my God, yesterday I could not motherfucking believe how much, especially I was in town, so I got a different view, which it's weird how you can view going this. Our skies have changed so much, and it trips me out how people don't notice how it's going way out. It's going way out. You could look and it's like the sky's going way out there. It's like, it's weird. It used to, like, I don't know, it used to not look this way. And it does look like we're in a painting or something, which we are in this, this is an illusion. And I don't know, we all wake up to it. And then as you do, it's like this glitching out. So it wasn't just that. So I don't know if other people have had this before, where all of a sudden you hear this grinding, grinding. It sounds like gears grinding, and it sounds like it's in the back of your neck or something, like you're a robot or something. And I was like, it was so fucking loud. And when it's inside, it's like, it seems like it's coming in your ear and out your ear or something. It's so loud. And so I was trying to get that to stop. Then I'm laying there trying to get comfortable, and then I could hear, I don't know if it was the Earth's heart, if it was Stella's heart. I hear his beating heart loud as fuck. I don't think it was my heart, and because I've heard mine before, and this was like it was coming through the ground or something. The ground was totally vibrating so fucking hard, and I'm like, is this for real? Is the ground vibrating this hard, or is it something in my body? And is it this reality is good? Like, what in the holy hell is happening? And I was like, fuck, maybe we're about to have a volcano or an earthquake or something. Just go to sleep. I think I fell asleep. But the but anyways, it was vibrating super hard. I was hearing all these weird noises. Everything was super loud. And I started doing some, like, I was cutting it off, like, mentally, like, I was trying to close out all the stuff, but doing it through being purposeful. And so I did fall asleep, but I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it was so many different things. And then, what was the one? Because there was another one this morning. God, I was so uncomfortable. And I'm just, I'm right off the concrete. So it was vibrating, and it was hard. It was like, and I could hear it. And but there was another thing too that was really weird. I can't remember. I just feel so out of it. I'm so tired. I'm physically exhausted, and like my body is sore because it's crazy too. Is when you're doing all these exercises. When new bands came out, I know the extra heavy one is 50 pounds. I don't know that this purple one is 50 pounds. That's why I'm gonna kind of compare them, because these ones are fabric ones, because they only cost like, I don't know, $10 more than the cheap ones. But these ones, I do like doing the band. I have weights and stuff, and I like to do yoga stretching and stuff. But where the hell did it go? I don't know where it is, but you know what I'm talking about. The band thing that I'm talking about, the exercise. Those plastic ones do slip and pull on your skin and stuff, and so it's like you have to have your skin covered, and it will still pull, or it will still slip around. And so these ones supposedly are no slip with the fabric ones. And so anyways, that extra heavy on the plastic ones, I bet you isn't, no way is it 50 pounds, but because I don't think I can pull back 50 pounds, like, I don't know. But then going and carrying it. But that's the thing, is like, you do these exercises and stuff, and then you go put it to the test. You start doing like regular taking care of ourselves is, like what we're built to do, what we should be doing is lifting, picking things up, moving fast, moving slow, climbing around and stuff. That's how we're like formatted, kind of. And to me, it seems like if you want to be like at your optimal, you kind of got to keep doing that stuff. And then I know like exercise places and stuff came, but I think people who do hiking and climbing, I think those people are probably in the most optimum for what we're designed for. Because I know people who ride bikes and stuff, they get really, really slim, but I mean, that's like the same movement over and over and over. And so, and in hiking, like you gotta be going and stuff. So, and I swear to God, walking, but you gotta do it throughout the day. Like, right after I had my surgery and I was having so many problems and I was gaining weight, and everybody's like, oh, it's menopause. That's just what happens. That's what happens when you get old. You hear that so fucking much. I swear to God, you start hearing it in your 30s. That's what happens when you get old. It's like, fuck, look at these fucking mantras we've carried on. It's like because I don't believe in aging, so I don't believe that's true. But by the way, though, yeah, Crystal, it is, you're the 60-some-year-old, 80-some-year-old out here just doing all sorts of this hard-ass work. But when we were doing the fence, because it was hard, I was getting cut and everything, and it was big and heavy, and trying to hang it. And then, I mean, she's 80, so I'm doing extra of the, what falls more on me, and I'm having to pull all my things. And the exercising, or the doing the way all that stuff that I do, it gets you where you can do that stuff. But this is like going out and doing the test. It's like, well, how good a shape am I in? And fuck, I can do some shit. Like she even said, like she's telling all of her friends and stuff, like she can't even believe it, which is giving her a new insight into me, because I was always the weirdo person in the family. And so I think it's seeing like a different side of me, like, and which, I mean, to see how capable and strong I am, is she's impressed with stuff like that, with, the stuff I'm doing. And so that would, as a parent, would make you feel good, like, oh, like it's like that girl had just told her, a couple weeks ago, don't just look at her and just be like, God, I made that. It's like, I think, now she's getting more of that, like, fuck, man, she's part of me. And I'll just like, oh, yeah, she's mine. And she wasn't like that. Like, she went out, like, there's some parents who, if you have a bunch of tattoos and stuff, cover them up if you're going to go out with me. My mom's never been like that. We've gone into places where it's all her little old lady friends and stuff, and they all just come up nice as hell to me. I've had so many little old ladies come up to me in grocery stores and stuff, are just like, oh, I love your tattoos, I love all your art and all that stuff. So they're not all like that, judgmental or hateful or anything. Mostly all just nice. My mom always, she's never been like, even if inside she's like, we do have a lot of tattoos, people are gonna, yeah, I know, I love it. So let me think what I was gonna say, because it was like a whole bunch of different things going in my head when I was talking about that. Okay, so when we were out there hanging that thing up, and it was heavy and everything, we did have the conversation. I was like, man, it's so much different. Because this would happen to me all the time when I'd be at home and I would be doing something, it'd be really hard, and I'm frustrated, and I'm trying to do it, and I'll be trying to think it through and stuff. And I would always be thinking like a flashback of doing something with 1, 2, 3. No, he wouldn't do shit. 3, he wouldn't do shit. 2 and 4. Okay, so with 2 and 4. Thinking back to the horrors and the impatient, angry, I don't want to be doing this, but I have to do it, but you need to go sit down because I'm doing this. It's like a controlling, martyr, all of the bullshit, the loud, angry, the stuff when you're doing some project with a man who is unhealed. And it's a whole fucking drama. And so then when you're out there doing it when I was doing it by myself, I was like, oh my God, even though it's so frustrating and so hard, it's so calm, so quiet. Oh, it's so nice. It's just quiet and calm. It's hard as fuck, but it's still quiet and calm. And that's what it was. And so we were having that conversation about, like, it's so different when you're trying to do this shit with a man. And then, yeah, these 2 little ladies out here, and then getting creative, hanging it off the tree and stuff. And she's got these streamers hanging off of it because she wants, the deer's not hit into it, but she wants to use it to grow hollyhocks or something. I don't know, something going up it. So anyways, but we were just having that conversation, and it is, because there's a lot of, women our age that would be out there, and they would not think that they would, I mean, trying to lift it, just trying to unroll it, and having the eyesight problem in trying to see the silver wire that's holding the rest of the silver fence, because this is a chain link fence. This is like a big fucking 6 foot chain link. It's 6 foot tall, but I would say, I don't know, maybe 25 or 30 feet long. And we're maneuvering it all, and it was rolled, and she had it rolled out there for years and years. I know, I mean, what her plan was with it. Um, there's just so much stuff that I feel like for her, things are coming together. You know, like she's had all these open-ended projects, and with me being here, she's able to get all these different things done and stuff, able to use her rocks, get her garden is looking so good. And she's feeling so proud. And I'm sure today while I'm gone, she's going to be out decorating it and stuff. Um, so anyways, it's coming together, but it still is a lot of work. We got a lot of the plants in the ground. I think we only have a few more. Well, we have these other containers to put up, but we have plants already to go in there. We may have to go get some more dirt though. In the it takes so much dirt. And then you gotta, there's a lot of stuff about gardening I didn't know. Like, you gotta mix these dirts, you gotta have compost, different types of soil and stuff. You gotta put vitamin, all sorts of shit. So, but you learn when you're doing it with somebody who knows stuff. That's kind of like the matriarchal kind of hierarchy in the family, is kind of like teaching and helping, you know, the next ones and the next ones. Like when I was a young mom, there were so many old ladies that would help you. Now it seems like that's different. Like if you have somebody who can help you, you're lucky. Most of these girls are always going on TikTok and asking questions. What do you do about this? Well, I don't know about this. And it's like, you have nobody to tell you this stuff? Oh my God. Like, I feel like there was a lot more unity or something to the young moms when, my oldest daughter, she's in her early 40s, and my youngest is in her early 30s. And so, or did she, yeah, she's in her, I think she turns 31 this week. And, I'd have to go through the year thing. Yes, I think she turns 31 this year. And so anyways, but when I was a mom, even with a 30-year-old, it was, there was support. There was women coming together. So I don't know, it's just, everything is falling apart, but everything's going to come back together. And, like, I bet you, like, I mean, there probably already is. I know there always was. There continue to be knitting circles way beyond. And the beauty salon thing has become way different than it was. But I think it's going to get back to more of that kind of woman community where women spend time together just hanging out and talking about shit and doing tasks that they like to do. Like the knitting ones, they sit around knitting and just talking about stuff. At the beauty salon, it used to be the women would go in and get their hair done, and it was weekly. So every week you were with the same women in the beauty shop, and they'd all sit and talk and visit and stuff, and it was like a whole vibe. And then everything has just changed a lot. But about the vibe used to be so much more about unity and community, and that we're going to be going back to that because people don't like the direction we've gone. People are not doing better. People are devolving. They're not doing better, evolving. They're getting worse. They're feeling worse. They're getting sicker and aging, and so the things are going to change. We're going to go in a new direction. It's like this is played out. This card game's over, and now the new one's going to be starting. It's like we're going to go from poker into playing hearts. That poker's got all the fucking. As I was thinking about the way they try and trick each other. You know, like they don't want to have a tell. They don't want anybody to notice. You know, they gotta, what is that? They even have a whole thing in it, in that game, to trick you. Like it's like they try and trick you. It's called something. I can't think of it. But, you know, we're gonna go into playing hearts. I don't even know how to, I don't even know. I'm pretty sure there's a card game named Hearts, but that was what came to me. And I just see it as like just more of love and accepting. I think that card game isn't, so it's a lot more just like a fun. I think it's maybe where you just put cards down and then whoever runs out of their cards first. I can't remember. I don't know though. It's maybe just my head maybe just making shit up. But anyways, that's how when stuff comes in, it's gonna come in a way. It's like you have to translate it, and sometimes it's the translation can be like, well, I don't know, could be this, could be that, could be something just because I understand it that way, or could be a real thing. So it could be that I'd have to go Google it real quick and see. I'd have to stop what I'm doing, go Google it and see, is there a game called Hearts? I could ask the chick who runs my phone, but I don't know. She may interrupt this and may pause it, and if it pauses, it won't start. It will end. It won't really pause. So hold on. One thing I saw was this woman, and she was saying all the same kind of stuff I said. And I don't know who she is or whatever. She was being interviewed on some podcast or something. But I think she is something, maybe she knew stuff about astrology. And so she said in 2027, it's the astrology. And so where all these people like, I saw these videos, well, if you're spiritual, then you know about 2027. And I'm like, oh, I don't know about 2027. I know that I've heard Daniel Scranton and Corey Good, both, and this was fucking years ago, where it sounds like 2027 so far away. Are you kidding me? It was like way back in 2017 or 2018 when the solar flash, the whole thing was going. And all the people like in the spiritual thing were talking about it. And Allison Coe would come out on her QHHTs. There was all these people giving dates and shit. And so, we were all thinking that we were going to have a solar flash then. And so Corey Good had talked about that he didn't think it was going to happen when he was talking to the people, the in-ground people, which there's something about humans from the future or something. These people who are in the ground, and he said they're always trying to communicate with us, that they have a room that they go in, and they all like go into these meditation pod things, and they go in there late, and then they try and communicate with us all during the day. So see, there's a lot of fucking communication going all the time. People think like, I think your brain is too busy, processing all the communication that your thoughts are not. So many people just think their thoughts are their own. It's like, no, it's just constant noise, and it is how much of it you pick up on. And but he said that those people are from, like, they leave and then they come back or something, but I'm not sure, like, trying to put all the things together in the ages and space and time. It's like it doesn't all go together in the way that we, like, this linear way that we have to like process the think of how it goes. It's so much more like all these different things, these different realities and realms and stuff going, and then this one is this time, and this one's this time, and this is this and that. And so it can be, one little thing. I don't know. But anyways, so he was talking to the people who were these, and there's way more than just one group of inner Earth, because it's these realms and shit. And so in their storyline, they are from Earth, I think, in the something, and they leave and then they come back. And I don't know if they're away from the future or what it is, but they had said that it was going to be some big, I don't remember how she said it. I have to go listen to his interview again. This was so many years ago. Something about the solar flash or whatever was going to be in 2027 more, which sounded so far away when they were talking about it. And then the and then Alzenco was having all these QHHT things that was saying it was about to go down. And then somebody must have asked Daniel Scranton or something. And he's a channeler. He's been channeling for a long time. He channels, I think, all sorts of groups, but he primarily the Arcturians. And so, yeah, I don't know. It was maybe so ask or whatever, but he said also, I see it more about 2027. But now this lady was saying 2027, it's about this astrology. It's about some changes in the planetary alignments, which I don't know what the hell is even aligning. Like the moon's out there spinning all over the fucking place. The sun, and the way that they are covering it, I was like, and the way it's so cranked up, because my mom has mentioned that too. Like she's mentioning so many more things that is like questioning reality. And the so I was like, I wonder if they are fucking cranking it up and making it so fucking hot on us, because 65 feels like it's 95. Like what's gonna happen when it's 95? Like fuck, man. Like the other day where it was like 58 or 60 some degrees, and I fried an egg on a pan out there. It was like, this is pretty fucking hot. And the but if they aren't cranking it up in order to make us want this cloud seeding shit, like, oh God, please cover it. Please, but as much as you can. I couldn't believe yesterday. I've never seen anything like it. How many, and it was so wild how they would spray, and I could see it way, way down there, and then coming way, way. You could see it way, way. It was like, and you just go in, and there's like all over the place. They were doing X's all over. There was so. After a while, it was just like so filled in, and it was just like, fuck, and it was everywhere, and then it's crazy too how like it's so weird how it'd be like this line, and then somehow it expands and becomes big. Then the whole thing starts being covered everywhere, and then it starts clearing out, and it starts getting there's more patches, and then sometimes it'll start having bigger clouds, but sometimes it'll just stay with this weird gray overcast that when the sun starts going down though, then it starts throwing these weird colors, because it's like this pink color at the bottom, and then this real weird grayish color right above it, and then right over by where the sun is, it's like this bright fucking orange. It's like, that's why it's like every time I look out there, it's like all these different things. It's the weirdest looking sky out here. And but I know it's being weird out all over the place, because that one place had the teal sky, that other place had hot pink, purple. There's been all sorts of crazy skies. And it was funny yesterday too. I was out there. What was I? Oh, I was when I was watching the guys spray, and it's like this long ass line. You can look, and the line's way down. Like, this is so weird. I'm looking in the lines way down there, and I'm watching him, and I can look, and he's way over there. And then I was thinking, what's really weird is like he could be over North Carolina right now. Like, it's just like, I feel like we're so much closer than what we think we are. I feel like things are so much different than what we think we are, or how we think it's set up. I just feel like things are so different. But anyways, I'm still gonna be driving a couple hundred miles to go see the kids and grandkids and stuff today, so I will actually be doing that. But to me, it kind of is also the it's like the illusion of telling us that that's what we have to do, so then we think we have to do it, so then we do it. So then there's driving to get somewhere, or flying to get somewhere or something. But I just feel like it's gonna be different. Like, we don't need, like, that is a part of, I mean, even when I was driving yesterday, I was sitting here thinking, how would people feel when they realize, like, the technology, that we could be zipping around in hovercraft and shit, but because rubber industry, the petroleum industry is so much pull in this fucking world that they make all their money off of, that they keep us on the ground, on the tires, using the gas and all that stuff, when it probably is the hover cars are going to be way more with the free energy. There's something about the energy, being able to tap into the energy to move it. And that's another thing too, is like people don't realize how much energy is around them, and everybody's energy, and there's just so much. But that is what we're going to be, moving like. I guess that's what they would be calling the quantum or something, because it's more the universal, not like this man-made with the petroleum and the rubber and shit like that. But when people realize like these industries that have kept us stagnant from the technologies that would help us, because they profit off of the part that is the old-fashioned, the old way, and so they've held us back. And so we're going to be, that's why it's going to be this giant leap forward. Every time when I see that, I always see that thing from one step for mankind, or it was something that astronauts said about this moon landing thing. It was like a leap for a step for me. I can't remember what it was, some quote, but every time I can hear it in my head, but I just can't. I can see it, but that's the thing too, is that a lot of the stuff that you're trying to translate is like a picture, and you can hear, like it's like you have this knowing of what it is, but trying to hear what are the words, what is it exactly, but you can see it and you know it and you understand it. So that's one other thing, like when you're trying to translate, you don't always hear. It's not like someone's talking and narrating. It's like these pictures coming, these things, and then you have an understanding when you see them. So it's like, that's why I said I think everybody has their own communication. It's like the ink blot thing or something. We all see something different. So in your communication, they're going to show things to get you to see whatever it is that they're trying to show you. And so it like, and that's why a lot of it comes across like a metaphors or not analogy kind of things, where these this means the same as this, or it gives you the same idea, or gives you the same feeling. So that is another thing in the communication. It's like that's where we all have to translate our own. And it's not like that there's one set language. It's not even a language. It's like a communication between synapses. So between the energies, communication. Hold on a second, let me finish this. It goes from being way too hot to now it's like cold. So, oh my God. And my fingers are all like swollen and stiff. Even my thumb, it looks like crooked. It's like, is this like, this, I'm going to take some bentonite clay for sure today. Is when the toxins really build up and my joints get really inflamed like this. And oh my God, my fingers become hard to move and stiff. And there's so many things, like I was trying to tell my mom, because she was having such a bad thing with her face. I was trying to say, well, this is the response, this autoimmune response, where they start giving all these diagnoses, but then they have to switch them around. Well, it could be, and so fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, all these different ones. I think the fibromyalgia has something to do with the fascia or the connective tissue, and that's why the pain just kind of radiates, because it's just hitting all the different nerves in the grid system, like. And so I think when you have a response, so, and then your body is going to respond to toxins and chemicals. Your body's going to respond. That's where they come up with you got the allergies, because your body is going to start being mucus and sneezing and coughing, because it's trying to get rid of the infiltrate. And so whatever you breathe it in, mostly, yeah, I would say, but it can be eating. But when you take something and you're eating it, then it would be more like stomach flu. But one of the things is because they use all these chemicals and toxins and shit, they go through the filter system inside of you, and it get clogged up. It clogs the filter system. And so that's why another reason why you go to do the detoxes and stuff like that, to clean out the system so that you can process all the fucking non-motherfucking stop chemicals. And so but those ones have a different thing. The ones when you're breathing, like you're not gonna, like, well, some people, like they're allergic to nuts, and then they have that whole process. Only it's a lot more extreme too, because they could stop breathing and have anaphylactic, like it's way more serious when you have your allergic reaction when you eat. Like these allergies is just this like long term, constant. It's like when the spouse is giving the person a little bit of what is that stuff called? A little bit of antifreeze every day in their smoothie kind of thing. Then and then they just get sicker and sicker and sicker, and that's what they're doing to us. And so your body, when you're getting the infiltrate, then it responds with the coughing, sneezing, mucus, and all that stuff. And then people will start thinking, well, they're sick. Well, then you go to the doctor. Well, you're not sick. You got the allergies. Go take this and take probably 3 of these and 2 more of these. It's like, okay, load you down with that, and that's gonna put all sorts of other shit out of whack. But it is so. What seems to be occurring for a lot of people, and I don't know how, because it happened to me, and I know because mine started with the Epstein-Barr, and I had the Epstein-Barr, so that's your marker for autoimmune, and so that's when it started for me a long while ago. But I don't go in and do all their stuff and have all the different complaints. I did for a while when I was more into the system. I was still a nurse and shit, and when I was being checked for MS, and then that is also in my family and stuff, so that I feel like I have like genetic markers that would make me more prone to certain reactions from certain chemicals, like so. Anyways, but whatever tests they did, they were like, no, you don't have that. But that's where things are constantly changing too. But I also, through all these different tests and stuff, I also know that I had the proteins. I had proteins in my lungs, proteins in my brain and stuff. It's like, what are proteins? Oh, it's nothing you need to worry about. Oh, really? And now we know they're worms? Like, fuck off with this shit, man. God damn, try and help us. That's one thing too, is I'm seeing so many more doctors that are coming the other direction. There's one, by the way, and it's another one I've never seen before, but boy, he's out there, boy, going to town. And he is talking about the horse face course, and that cures all the skin. Just put it on a couple times a day. If you have any kind of CA of the skin, you can get the horse face, put it on a couple times a day. It'll go away. And this one is kind of going crazy on my chest. There's some basil, so who knows? You just don't go in and find out from them. You take the risk with the big guy, with nature, with destiny. It's whatever's meant to be is meant to be. If that's meant to take you out, it's going to take you out. No matter what you do, you're not going to be able to stop it. That's another thing with the illusion of their treatments and stuff. It's like, no. I even was telling that to my mom the other day. That's where she was like, because I was there. Because I said, you cannot do yourself in unless that's how you're meant to go. It's impossible. I said, I had patients who blew their motherfucking faces off, and they're still out there. I said that there is, everything is about what's meant to be is meant to be. And I said, so when they start these fucking maid project fucking shit, and then they're like putting all these people out, I said, they're not doing that. They are taking their consciousness, they're taking their souls out of their body. And that's what she's like, no, no, that's too far fetched. I can't think. I'm just like, fine, you'll find out. Like, I'm not, like, one thing is you need to wrap your head around that the technology that's available to them that they've been doing it is way beyond our programming. And so, yeah, it's a lot more intense. But yeah, you can't, it's not a for sure thing. And when they're sitting there doing it, it's because no, they're just taking the life out of it's a transfer station. That's what it is. The maid is a transfer station. It's no fucking way out. It's the way into their fucking creepy ass world more. So then they've got fucking control over you. And they put you in a black, because just think about how they used to bind spirits. And they could bind them, like back in the olden days, they were binding them in boxes and shit. You think these people aren't doing it? No, they're fucking just, because even in that fucking old movie that I was watching, and that guy was talking about the cloning and this changing spirit, and then, so what they do in the movie is they get the clone, and then they have their consciousness put in to the clone's body, so they go in and take over somebody else's body, which a lot of people think so much of it is reptilians and shapeshifters and stuff, but some of this is consciousness being transferred into other bodies, like, and then when you clone the people, I bet you that they do have some kind of holding place where these people are in some kind of pod with the liquid, just like what they show in the movies, how they go in and there's all these pods with these bodies and these people floating in this green liquid stuff, and it's one after another. I bet you some of these people, like, they've got their original is in this place, and they keep it in some kind of a state to be able to use it still for their science and stuff. But um, when they make a new one, and then these people who have these old relics, fucking these old people, and once they want to switch, because I wonder, because they fucking get old, and they fucking live off of blood and shit, but they're also fucking thousands of years old. I swear to God, yeah, some of these people are gonna end up being so fucking old. Then, and they've gone through, like, when you can maneuver through space and time, you can go through different ages and stuff like that, and then you can create your own little pocket of, where you're creating this little weird, evil world. So but that's what they are putting themselves in the movie. That's what, they wanted this clone, and they see this person like, oh, I like the way they look, I'll take that body. And then whatever it is, if they kill the soul that is in there already, and then they just use the body, like how they show us for organ transfer surgeries and stuff, like if they have the two. And that's in so many old movies, so many of these old fucking Frankenstein and shit, and they're going to transfer from this to this. And so if that's not what they do, they have the one they're taking, the new body. And then think about how much that has been in the movies lately. All of a sudden, I was like, I've just got this spin through that concept being in the movies. What was it? I've seen it too quick. But at the same time, I'm like, oh yeah. There is movies where they show that, and it was newer ones. It wasn't just from the old ones. I can't think of what they are now. I went too fast. But anyways, so that they reanimate by transferring their consciousness into this one. So then they take over the younger body, and then once they've been doing this a long time, so they don't go and die. They not. I mean, where are they going to go? Like they're low vibration. We're coming into their world, It's like the same thing as when people go into, like, it's so weird because my mom was even saying, oh my God, the fucking sounds. Like, what? Oh God, it's so intense. My mom was even saying about the, I wonder if this is what causes brain fog. It's the fucking frequency. The, uh, what was that about to say? My mom had, okay, let me think. Frequency, I have no idea. I have no idea what I was about to say. The TV is going on in the background, even though it's turned down. And there's been so many movies. I have not had any time to watch movies, but it's been like a whole bunch of good movies. Once it's going to be raining in a couple days. So once it's raining, I'm just going to sit here and watch all these old movies that have been going. But I think, so they steal the bodies. They're old as fuck. We're coming into their world. Oh yeah. So because I was just talking about this with my mom, the people who move out into, because she has some neighbors and stuff, and she's like, I don't get it. The ones that move out here, and they spend all their day picking up pine cones. There can't be a pine cone on their perfectly sculpted lawn. It's like, isn't that the weirdest? Like, you move out into the forest, but I'm not gonna be a part of it. I'm just gonna look at it, but I'm not gonna be any part of it. And so it's kind of like that. That's what was being in my brain, is like that. It's like you're not gonna be a part of it, but you're gonna be there. But you're not. But it's like you're trying to control it or something. But anyways, but we come into this place, into this realm. I believe of free will, even if we get trapped here for some period of time. I I don't know. I don't know the extent of this trapping. I guess we'll find out the extent of this. They're wheeling and dealing us back in the moon to come back here to keep their weirdo world going. But that's all they got. They can't, die and go up into the heavens. They are set at their lower vibration. Like, all this shit that we come here and we go through, that raises our vibration. Or unless you go into their darkness, unless you go into the revengeful, hateful, bitter, that's going to hold you back in low vibration. So when you can pull yourself up out of there, that's the acceleration, the ascension, or whatever, pulling yourself out of the dark. But it takes work. And but that is something that they don't do. They don't die like how we die, and we go reevaluate, unless that's all fucking their scheme. Like, we'll see. But to me, it made sense. You go through a life, you go in, you see yourself through different perspectives, and then you feel, you want to do something to change something or something. And so that, to me, seems to keep the wheel going. That's how it looks to me. But I don't know if it's all through manipulation and that we're being tricked into coming. So I don't know. But to me, it seems like this whole expansion, like, you go through this stuff, you go through all this learning, and you are growing. You become more compassionate, and you have more empathy. Like, when people go through things that you, in your heart, you have been through something or something similar, then you're going to have so much more compassion and empathy. So it's like making your wheelhouse, you're so much more full. You have more to you. The more lives, the more experiences that you go through, the more expansive you are. And so that is this elevation, that is this higher vibration. And so, yeah, when we go out of here, this is a low vibration. When we leave, we go to a higher vibration. And then we choose to come back into a lower vibration. But in the higher vibration, we are it's way more like freedom. It's way more of like what we are yearning to bring here. And so it's a lot more of uh, this, whatever, they're quantum jumping or whatever. It's like I said, in the heavens, you just go from here, then you go over here, you just can go wherever. And it's just like, you just think of it like, oh, I wonder what it's like in Paris today. And then all of a sudden you'd be in Paris with um, what you registered as being Paris. And so you could all of a sudden be back in the 1800s in Paris. And you could be in the future in Paris, whatever. It would be like you would go wherever it was that you, whatever you saw, that's where you would go. And so you just go. And you can go into all sorts of experiences in whatever vibration you're in. And then here, when they go, which they just would stay in a lower vibration, it would be like they'd have to leave this place and go and start over with another place and another low vibration, and they'd all have to go together. I wonder if that's why some of them become like their own little army and travel in ships and stuff, so they can all go together and start their own little world, because they got nothing else to do. And so instead of them dying, which would be kind of defeat what all of their power trip that they've created here, and so they just transfer into a new body. So when one wears out, they just go into another one. And I think maybe it is because they're all decrepit souls that they go through bodies faster and faster, and they need to constantly be taking our essence, like they got to be getting what they can out of like the chrome or the melanin or whatever. There's different things, I think, with the iron and stuff that they try and take from us. And because they're a different kind of being. And so that, so anyways, they stay more in this place, so they don't go. And then these ones, like, this is the curious thing, to me, is like, okay, so you think about like the Rothschild, these 13 original families, because that's where you got to go back to, these original people, that they are different. Like there's like, I don't know, we're hybrids and we are clones and stuff. Like we are uh, from this earth plane, like, but they aren't. And so it's like the settler, like there was all this colonization, and so there's all this colonization kind of always going. So anyways, these beings aren't the same as us, just like that little, like in our history, where we see these different things, where there was different beings that were coming from different places trying to help the people. And whatever had happened, at some point they all had to step off and let us just play out. We had to play out this game, which it leads to human evolution. It leads to one step for mankind, a giant leap for whatever it is, whatever that quote is. one giant step for, I don't know, something I've heard a bazillion times and I can't fucking think of it. But anyways, so the but they anyways, they don't evolve in the same way that we do. We evolve, we become different. Our vibration changes, and this is like, now we're taking something, we are making our own new world, and they are being, it's like we're splitting out of their world, and just like they're trying to hold on to us, but we're splitting away from them. And because we are creators and stuff, we're going to create a new one. And there's going to be a whole bunch of different kind of creation, different places and stuff. And they probably all won't be here. There'll be people creating places on places that we think of as Venus and Mars and Pluto and stuff. People are going to be out in other areas, and But then we're also going to have a lot more opened up in the galactic or universal kind of travel. So, you can zip over to Pluto and see your mom who passed at some point, but now she's living in Pluto, and you can zip over there because we're going to be more in that vibration, which they just stay in this low vibration. Oh, that's what it was I was going to say. So you have these people who are like this original, the people that are different than us, the people who are these other kind of beings. Then, like a lower vibration soul too. But they're also old and powerful. And, but people like the Clintons and Obamas and Bushes and stuff like that. So these kind of people who come and they become like the hands of the dark, then I don't necessarily know that they are the same as them. They could be the same as us, and they could be playing parts and roles, so they could go within. It's hard to imagine like the fraudster or Gator, any of these people going anywhere the same as us. Like, but also they played a big role in the changing our direction by giving us the worst outcome possible that veers us going a different direction, that turns us. So, and that's how the universe plays, is dark to light. It's what goes around comes around, and one thing leads to another. And so it's like this universal law, like the dark, like like in this vibration, like, okay, because I was about to say the dark can't stay dark, but then I could see it in this lower vibration. That's what is lower vibration, is because it slows down, and so then it can stay like that. But it's a higher vibration that it can't, and it keeps going and going and going the more. And so things can't stay in this way, this hatefulness and stuff like that. And but in their way of keeping it trapped, then they can keep it, but it's like in this real slow vibration. That's why the higher vibration, like the beings, don't just come down here and come and chat with us and stuff. For one thing, we've all been programmed to be scared, but that they have to go from being high vibration where everything's cool, and they got to slow down and come into this super dense and heavy. And that is, I think, probably why partially we'll see them when we rise up to them. So it's us awakening and rising up and giving value to them and their information, is where we come up into their vibration, even though they're going to still be higher, but we're raising up. And even don't forget, like, you aren't this. You are already high. You're just like connecting to yourself. So you're already way up there anyways. You're just connecting to yourself. So if that makes sense. But anyways, I've been talking a while. I gotta go get ready to drive. It'll be so funny to, because just going to drive is such a dread to so many people. But it is I like going on road trips because I just turn on the music, let the wind blow in the windows and stuff, and just relax. And all I got to do is keep myself from going into some deep sleep while I'm driving, or into some meditation. And sometimes the way the roads go, it starts like hypnotizing me too, which I don't think probably happens to a lot of people. And so it's like I got to constantly be looking around and looking around. It is, it can be a little exhausting or whatever. But anyways, just sit there and think like, oh, it's going to be such a break from being out in the beaten sun, trying to move this and that, and picking up all these rocks and shit. So anyways, I'll go and show the hair thing and see. Sometimes I feel like it's looking like there's less, but maybe they're getting long enough that they are blending in more. I don't know. So, but that's that. My eye is being totally inflamed. And then this thing on my chest, whatever, this fucking growth thing going. I put some of that. I don't think I have any horse paste, but I have the goat one. So I put some of that on it, and it went crazy. So Um, I don't know, just kind of weird when you think about you're putting this like an insect killer on there, and it's like, it's so weird when you just think about all these little pods of, I don't know, it's like when you focus in too much, then you can see the little wormy squirmy things on it, but you know, you need a microscope for a lot of being able to see it. So anyways, my tooth, and then unless I completely glitch out and disappear, I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know. I swear to God. There was times yesterday where I would be I'd be just going and going and going, and I'd sit down, and all of a sudden it'd be like, oh my God, am I disappearing? What the hell? And then these weird kind of things. And then I've been driving, and then all of a sudden it's like this weird, like high-pitched pop sound, and then it's like everything goes quiet for a minute, and then all of a sudden it comes back, and I'm like, this is like going through portals and shit like that, like, or they're doing something to interfere with state, like, I don't know. There's just a lot going. Like, no matter what it is you're dealing with, just know you're not crazy. Like, there's a lot of weird shit going on, and then you just got to keep on being like, because you won't be able to figure out the answers. And if you do, you know, more power to you. Share it with us. But just keep asking the questions. Just keep on asking the questions. We don't have to have all the answers. We don't have to have all the solutions. As long as we keep asking the questions, we'll get there. So anyways, just remember, what we're doing here is learning how to love ourselves, learn how to love everybody else, and how to have the day we want to have, because that's who we are. So work on that, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.